All right, guys, let's stream it up. What's going on, my PT peeps, my Walking Dead family, and my fighters? I'm One Eye Brian. I'm back to talk about The Walking Dead. In this live stream, we're going to answer some questions. So, obviously, spoiler warning for The Walking Dead Season 10 as a whole, but definitely Season 10, Episode 9, the back half of Season 10, first half comic stuff, all that. Spoiler warning. I've seen the episode, Season 10, Episode 9. I'll talk about the spoilers in the back half of the hour. Probably the last 30 to 40 minutes. So we'll discuss it a little bit. Not everybody wants to know spoilers, so please do not spam the chat with spoilers like, I can't believe this happened, that happened, this happened. Yeah. It's like, if you do it later, the back half, the last half hour of it, just because some people like avoid it because I don't want it to be... Yeah, Hector. Thanks, Hector. Thank you, Janet, Hector, Luca for joining me right now. A bunch of people are joining as we speak. But Hector writes up, Bry, still a bit bitter over that kick to the chest. This volume is awesome so far. Thank you. So Hector is talking about my Fight for Us book series, and my latest book is Access. I have my proof that I'll show you in a little bit, but it's available to purchase on Kindle and paperback, and I'm excited to share it with you guys, and it's something that I was working on for a while, and I was able to get it out a couple of days ago. Kindle was out probably several days before the paperback, but the paperback had some problems, and we had to fix it and edit it and send it and back and this and that, so it was a little crazy. But overall, guys, it's a good day. February 23rd, 2020. It's a good weekend. It's a good, crazy weekend, right? The Walking Dead Season 10, Episode 9. Wilder Fury fight last night. There was even a UFC thing, I think. There's movies on. There's different shows. Better Call Saul Season 5 starting. XFL if you're into that stuff. It's kind of cool. It's February, and we got stuff going on. So thank you guys for taking the time to be here. Like I said, if you missed it, the last half hour, 40 minutes, 35 minutes or something like that, we'll talk about the episode spoiler style. But overall, Season 10, Episode 9, I'll give my general overview of it, what I thought of it. My review is coming later tonight. I did my review yesterday. I made a couple videos a couple days ago that I will share later this week because we're still trying to get a video out a day, at least one video a day. So, Angie Wanderer 224, it's actually my birthday gift. I'm super happy it's back. So happy birthday. So yes, if anybody's birthday is today, happy birthday. My wife's birthday is coming up this week. So we're going to have a big birthday celebration for her. And we're excited, guys. Walking Dead is back. It's always good when it's back. I feel like it's super long, right? It's one of those things that The Walking Dead hasn't been on since November. No December. No January. And all the way till now, I guess Friday the 21st for The Walking Dead to return. And overall, it's entertaining. It's an episode that is a necessary thing to connect the first half of Season 10 with the back half of Season 10. And it's one of those things where it's not the best, mid-season premiere, but it's good. It was definitely a thing that I like to talk about it. I like to, discuss it a little more in depth for, everybody that wants to talk about it. I'll have my review later tonight. Talking Dead guests. So let's talk about it. I don't have AMC on right now, but I believe they have a Season 10 first half marathon going on. And then it's going to lead all the way into Season 10, Episode 9, right? And then you have it, I think the runtime is 45 minutes of the episode, but it's probably going to be 65 minutes, so you're going to get 20 minutes of commercials. They got to get that, that revenue coming in, that ad money. But we got The Walking Dead Season 10, Episode 9, and then you have Better Call Saul Season 5, Episode 1, and then Talking Dead. Talking Dead doesn't go on till like 11:20, so it gets done at midnight, 12:20 is after midnight the next day. It's crazy. So the guests of it are Connie, Jerry, and I always say his name wrong, but I think Mark Strasmus or something is the director. Strasimus. I'm butchering his name, but he's a good director. He's been involved with The Walking Dead for a long time. I believe he's connected with The World Beyond and Fear the Walking Dead, I think he's connected with all three series. I could be mistaken, but the episode Some people are going to be hard on it. They're going to be disappointed no matter what they do, no matter what it is, for sure. I mean, you can't make everybody happy. I know that firsthand, being on YouTube, being an author, being a person in life. You can't do it, right? So you got The Walking Dead Season 10, Episode 9. It's a good episode. It's not bad. It's not boring. It's not dumb. Some things are far-fetched, that's for sure. But The Walking Dead has some far-fetched moments. It's not a perfect series. It's not a perfect show. But it's entertaining. The spoiler stuff, if you're reading the spoilers, if you're doing the stuff that you keep up with the channel, you keep up with the videos, you keep up with the potential spoilers and everything that we share, you'll know that it's what's highly likely to occur, and the potential spoilers look to be spot on. A lot of stuff is out there, pictures. Some people would just post pictures all over the place, and some of it are spoilers. There's some of the things that's a pretty big spoiler of the episode. I think the best parts of it for me was Negan and the whispers. The cave stuff is good, but it's a little far-fetched for what they're trying to do. Some of the stuff, it's a little dark, but I wouldn't say it's dark, like literally dark, like you can't see. But I wouldn't think it's one of those things where you're like, man, I really couldn't see what's going on here. I could tell what Magna was doing, or this one or that one, and maybe the brightness needs to be turned up a little bit, but it's a cave. It's not supposed to be, like that well lit. Even though they do have some lanterns and some stuff, they could have made it a little bit brighter. Yenzi Rosario, what do you think Morgan would have done if he met the Whisperers? Well, what state of mind was Morgan in? If we go back to season 3 Morgan, where he's saying people wearing dead people's faces, is he going cray-cray? Is he clear mode Morgan? Because it makes a big difference what type of mindset Morgan would have been in. He would have been taking out people left and right, but he probably wouldn't have thought that the walkers would have fought back as whispers. Look what happened to Jesus. Jesus, that's an epic death. It's something you're always going to remember when Jesus died in season 9, episode 8. Because when he was there fighting the whispers, walkers, he thought were just walkers. So he's swinging and he's this and he's that and he's showing a bunch of things and he's doing a bunch of things, that's for sure. But it was crazy. And if Jesus got killed by the whispers, Morgan would definitely have died by the whispers, because Jesus was way better fighter than Morgan. When they fought, Jesus kicked his butt and he was pulling his punches. He wasn't trying to hurt Morgan, which he probably could have. One of the best fighters of the show on the series and in the story and the universe of The Walking Dead is Jesus, and he got killed by the Whisperers. So I think Morgan would have died too. So that's for sure. Mark, my man, Q&A, Bri, do they finally chill Carol out? I don't want to answer that too much. I'll answer it in the back half, the last 30 minutes, because it kind of gives it away what I'm going to say. But I don't know. I don't think people are going to be the most... If you love Carol unconditionally, you'll understand what she's going through. And I personally understand what she's going through too, because, if you lost a child and you lost this and you had stress, and you could see if the person that was responsible for your stress and for killing your loved one and for being this be a part of your, your world here of The Walking Dead, Alpha killed Henry. And that was, Carol's son. Surrogate son, not a real son, but she was with Ezekiel, and it caused a lot of problems. But it was probably building up a bunch of things too. Carol's lost a lot of people in her life, and mainly kids in her life. And Henry might have been the straw that broke the camel's back, and it was one of those things where she's kind of freaking out still about it. So she's a little. It's on the borderline of annoying what they're doing with the character. But I answer that, and then when the spoiler stuff comes up a little bit there too. Gary Page, hey Bri, if they do the last episode the same as the comics, well, what do you think? So I have that answer in another video. I think you're talking about the finale of season 10, and I actually addressed that in a video that I already made, talking about the cliffhanger stuff, potentially, allegedly, potentially, possibly, with what Angela Kang said, and I'll give it there too, so I'll tell you my thoughts on there in that video. But I think I'm not mad at cliffhangers. I don't think cliffhangers are terrible. I think cliffhangers can be done to entice you and to draw you in. but people want instant gratification. They want every episode of every season of every series put on there for them to watch back to back to back to back to back to back to not wait anymore, right? Netflix spoiled us. When we can go and watch every episode, because when they post a series on Netflix, or whether it's original or not, you have all the episodes at your disposal a lot of the time. And, a lot of it can be, we're going to watch the whole season back to back to back to back. And then what? You binge it and then you're like, all right, I got to wait 2 years before this comes back. Now what? Well, back in the day, you got to wait every week. Walking Dead, you got to wait every week. You got to wait how it's done. And when The Walking Dead ends on a cliffhanger, it kind of stinks. But I don't think it's going to be any worse than season 6 finale. That cliffhanger. That was terrible. That was done in the worst way possible. Like, okay, Negan picked somebody, but we didn't see who it was. We saw a first-person view of the person getting killed. And it's like, what? It was, I don't think we're going to get anything like that. Technically, last year's finale is a cliffhanger. Technically, season 4's finale was a cliffhanger. We didn't know how they're going to get out of the train car in Terminus. We didn't know what was going to happen there. But it depends on what the actual cliffhanger is. Is it too much for the handle? Is it too crazy? Did someone, potentially die? It's all those things. But we'll have to see if it's connected with the Commonwealth, Maggie, Walker's Whispers, a certain doom, if you will. Dan, do you really think Rick is alive? Much love and respect from Colorado. Much love and respect from Florida. Dan, I think Rick is alive. I don't know where Rick would not be alive if the movies are going to be, basically highlighting him and on there too. I personally think he's in Pennsylvania, probably Philadelphia in that way. I don't know how they're going to... It's just kind of... What if we don't get any movie news this year at all, let alone the end of the year, setting up next year's filming for that to be next year, like the movie to come out next year? Or it films late this year and it comes out next year. Is it too late? I'm going to watch it, and I think a lot of people are going to watch it too. I really hope it's connected with Michonne and Rick and, Jadis and possibly Heath and, the A and B and CRM and whatever they're going to do. I personally think that Rick is alive and he'll be well, and we'll see what happens too. So, Jackie says, "Hey Brian, missed you guys. It's been a rough week. Sorry, it just jumped on me. That's what always happens. I read it or I scroll down and I get to it, and then it just goes boop and it just jumps on me. I'm like, what the heck is that? So there you are, Jackie. I've been in the hospital and slowly recovering from an emergency surgery. Hope everyone is good. It's good to be back. So." Hopefully, Jackie, you're doing okay. You're on the way up. You're on the mend. You are healing. You are going to be okay. It's been a rough week, rough 2 weeks for you. I apologize for that. Hopefully the videos and what we do here can just take some of the edge off a little bit. I like when people share that because, I like to be involved with people and to be helping out. And if videos can really help out and be a part of the community here, that's what it's all about. So I hope you're doing all right. And I'm glad we're doing all right. Emergency surgery. She's back talking. So, on here on YouTube. So it should be all right a little bit too. Bokaby? Q&A. What do you think Hilltop and the Kingdom were doing since they weren't in the episode? Well, the Kingdom fell. The Kingdom is not really there. I guess you mean the Kingdomers or King Top or Hilltop or whatever, King Toppers, whatever you want to call them. But I think that they were probably just being at home and doing their thing on there too, because Hilltop, Alexandria, and everybody there, they don't really think anything of it. I don't think that anybody, because our group went out on their own and they were in the cave. So maybe they're wondering where our group went, but I think it was just a normal day to hear, for that as well. So, Tim Glover's asking the question. That's a big question. I'm just wondering who's going to get the water tower death. I don't know. Right now, it's theory, speculation, rumors. There's no confirmed anything from my sources or any sources that the water tower death is even happening, if it's even happening, or who's going to get it on there too. So for those who don't know, in the Whisper of War, Father Gabriel gets a water tower death where he runs up the water tower. He's supposed to blow a horn when he sees the Whisperers and the Walkers coming towards the communities. He freaks out, gets scared, sees the walkers, sees the Whisperers coming, runs down the ladder, gets his leg caught, breaks his leg, gets his leg stuck in the fence, or the ladder, hangs there, perfectly positioned for the Whisperers and the walkers to come. Beta comes by and slices into him, and it's pretty awesome. He dies, and it's pretty epic. It's a pretty big death. And it's pretty gruesome, and it's pretty great. If it happens on the show, I just don't know. We don't know anything about it at all. We just don't know what it's going to be. Is it going to actually happen to Father G? Is it the water tower inside Hilltop? Is it another thing? Is that the cliffhanger? Is that how it ends? The walkers and the Whisperers going towards the community of Alexandria? Where's the water tower? We don't know if it's going to happen at all. I wish I had more information with you, but I know that I've heard some information that happened in the later end of the season, if not the last episode, that there are some Alexandrians that survive. Not many, but I'm guessing that Alexandria is attacked. Hilltop will be attacked in an episode coming up, because we've seen it in the synopsis, if it's true or not. So I don't know, have an definite answer for that. Janet, Q&A, Brian, any thoughts on what will happen with Negan after the Whisperer War? Follow the comic storyline. Maggie kills him. Something completely different. My thoughts are that that's a good question. I don't know what they're going to do with Negan, because I don't think that Jeffrey Dean Morgan wants to leave the show. I think he loves being Negan. He loves being part of the community. But I think it would be good drama for Maggie and Herschel to coexist with Negan in the communities. Now, Maggie already had her goodbye with Negan, her story with Negan, saying all the things that she said inside the jail cell, but that was done outside in a different issue. They had to probably expedite that because Lauren Cohan was going to go away. She was going to film Whiskey Cavalier. And so she came back, and so I don't know what their plan is for that. They can always have Negan be part of Alexandria and Maggie be part of Hilltop, and they can never or minimally coexist and never really see each other. I personally think that Negan takes out Alpha, and that's what really causes the big battles, or something is a catalyst for that. I personally would like to see young Herschel, get some sort of justice for Glenn. Just like the Fast and Furious people are like, justice for Han. We need justice for Glenn. And why not have Herschel do it? That'd be kind of crazy. And then what does Maggie do? I don't know. So it's a lot of good things, But I'm not a writer on the show. I would write things somewhat different for the characters. Like I'll talk about in the spoilers, in a couple, probably about 10 minutes or so. I'll start with the spoilers for season 10, episode 9, and we'll talk about the episode. But I don't know why it has to be a thing that some of the writing is the way it is on the show. I know why they do certain things to build it up to, it is one of those things that you have to have drama on the show. You have to have things happen and things to set up different things. It's definitely something that I don't know why they do certain things with it. I love some of our theories. I love some of our talking about it. I do like the idea that some things could happen. What's ever going to happen with some of the plot holes? Or, I guess they're plot holes, like Winnie. Is that character ever coming around? Walker Eric, Heath. It's just a thing that I don't know. And maybe they glance over it and they never touch it again, and they never go back to that story arc. And it's okay. You have to have certain things for the show. You have to have certain things for certain seasons and certain half a seasons, because sometimes they do stuff for half a season. The Walking Dead is better than some of the other shows of the Walking Dead universe, but ultimately, The Walking Dead does the stuff that a lot of times makes sense. Sometimes they do things that are out of the ordinary, and some of the things that we'll see. I don't know. I think that season 10, episode 9 was a really good setup for season 10, episode 10, and beyond. And Negan being Negan is definitely a part of the show for this reason. He was kept alive for his interactions with Alpha and Beta and, Gamma and the Whisperers, and to be a part of it. Because if he wasn't around, so say Rick killed him or didn't have Sadiq save him, right? Who's with the Whisperers right now? Who's the inside man? Who's the inside person? Who is the thing that does these comic relief things and the big moments that, happen in the episode? So what could happen with that? Would it be remixed? Because there's always twists and turns for it, and there should be, because the comic is the comic and the show is the show, and there's definitely differences that need to happen. If we just watched this show version of the comic, it was coming. You knew it was coming. Yep, it happened. Yep, that's the way it goes. It kind of keeps you guessing a little bit. What are they going to do? Water tower death. Are we going to get that? Who's going to take out Alpha? Is Alpha going to die? Is she going to live? Is it going to be exactly this way? Is it going to be that way? Is it going to be this? Kind of keeps you there too. It's good because it gives a reason for comic readers to watch the show, because you don't know how it's going to be done. And if you don't read the comic, then it doesn't really matter. It's not a big thing too. So I don't know what's going on with this Guy Geary on there too. But I don't know. If people aren't a fan of me, why do they come here to complain? I guess that's what people do from time to time. It's kind of hilarious, but thank you, mods, for blocking them and doing this and, on there too. I guess, I don't know. I don't know why people do that. Like, I would never go to a channel and just complain about stuff or say this or say that and say how, you do this or you do that. I don't even know what this person said, because my moderators are awesome and they blocked them from, saying anything like that too. But the trolls are definitely out. That is for sure, because they are definitely out and about on Instagram, on Twitter, on YouTube, because you can tell when we're getting closer to The Walking Dead, because it's a little more relevant. It's a little more stuff, and people will come and say all this stuff. It's just crazy. But overall, let me share you with this, guys, and then we'll get into the spoilers. So here is Access. This is my proof copy of it. That's why it says not for resale on there. So Access is the 11th book of the series. The story picks up shortly after where Ghost ended. Ryan and his allies will continue to fight to survive, but also try to gain access to new areas. Will these new areas be the help Ryan needs, or bring on new problems and enemies? Find out in Fight for Us Access. That's the back of it. But you can see the 2 with the circle. If you don't know what that is, then it's definitely involved with kind of a thing that people want to know for it. But I definitely love this book. I'm glad that I got it out right before Around the Walking Dead. But Fight for Us Access is book 11 of the Fight for Us story. And I'm super proud of it. I'm super excited to share it with you guys. Kindle and paperback versions are out now. They are in my Amazon storefront, so you just got to go there, look at Access. If you like the paperback version, make sure you get the paperback version versus the Kindle version, and it's definitely something that I'm very proud of. And I took a little bit longer with it, and I think the product will definitely pay off, because before, back in the day, I rushed it a little bit, or a lot, because I wanted to get the story out. I was writing and doing this, and on to the next one, and on to the next one, because I had content and story, and I'm like, man, I was definitely like, what the heck? I wanted to have that be a part of something for it, because I'm definitely excited. M King, where y'all? My man M King, he's ready. I'm ready for Access. I know Hector has been reading it, and a couple people are definitely checking it out. And people have definitely been, it's definitely something that I'm excited for. I'm definitely excited to have it be part of the story of Fight for Us on there too. So I don't know. Let's see. So I don't know what's going on here in the chat, but it's getting a little crazy where we're at. But again, this is a Walking Dead family, Walking Dead community, so people get the boot if they're going to be something for it. So it's crazy there as well. Yeah. Let me see. Sorry, someone. Gunmetal Elite Corp. I had left the PT family and regretted it. I'm back. To stay. The other channels bring in too much drama. I'm sorry, guys. So Gunmetal Elite Corp, I'm glad you're here. That's definitely a thing that I'm glad to be back. I'm sorry you left, but I think we're one of the drama free groups. Like it's never drama free because people keep bringing it around. It's not from us. It's not from the PT peeps, the Walking Dead family, and my fighters. It's not from the people that are members. It's not the people that care about this channel. It's the outsiders that love to start drama, love to cause all these problems. And, we're never going to get rid of that. That's for sure. It's just crazy where we're never going to get it. I don't know what's going on as bad-mouthing Bri. I don't know what's up with, different people bad-mouthing me and stuff there, but that's where it's at, and Mark says the thing, your Sons of Anarchy meme was great, Bri, and it's Opie, Ryan Hurst from there, giving the middle finger, and, haters are going to hate. Not everyone's going to like you. And I was thinking about this the other day, and I'll say this point, and then I'll get into the spoilers on there too. So I don't know, I love the support, and the support is what keeps us going. That's for sure. You can't really do something without support. You can't achieve great things without support and help on there too, because I don't know why people have to hate and just cause problems on there as well. It's just something that doesn't make sense. And when people support and they say nice things, it truly warms my heart and makes me feel good and continue on with stuff and to read the stories and to write stuff and to continue with the book series on there as well. And then people post, mean and hateful comments and, say a bunch of things. And on a regular basis, it's too much to handle. And when stuff's on a short fuse and stuff's building up, it's something that, it sticks with you as a human being. And people can say whatever they want and get away with it online, and they can get away with it and say whatever they want and go hide behind their screen name and do everything there. And they have anonymity because they can be in another state and away from that too. But that's just because you can do that doesn't mean you should. Grow up a little bit, be an adult if you're an adult. If you're not, act like an adult, be for something like that too. But all I can say is what goes around comes around. Everything happens for a reason. And if you're causing drama and problems, it'll come back around in one way, shape, or another. I'm a firm believer of karma, and I'm a firm believer of things. If you know my story and you know what I write in there, Ryan's mentality of everything happens for a reason, and when it comes up around there too, it does. It definitely does. And it helps me see things in a positive light, even when things aren't there. It just helps you be a little bit better. Some people are not going to like, they're not going to like my stuff as for what it is. Like Kanye, what does PT stand for? I feel like I should know by this now. PT stands for several different things. For me, I'm a physical therapist. So it stands for physical therapy or physical therapist. It stands for part-time. It stands for party time, for positive thinking, for, physical torture, for physical training, whatever you want to call it. You can say, people say that I am a physical therapist, I am a doctor of physical therapy, but I'm also more than that. I'm a person, I am a homeowner, I am a YouTuber, I'm an author, I'm a bunch of things as well, but I do try to keep things in a positive light, but I'm a realist too. So PT has kind of morphed into a bunch of different things. And to me, one of those things is positive thinking, and it does make a thing for it that can hopefully help us out. But yeah, so yes, Kanye, I am a doctor of physical therapy. So PT stands for my profession and also what I am, physical therapist. So it's the physical therapy channel, the physical therapist channel that has turned into a bunch of different things. But, Walking Dead is a love of me. I love The Walking Dead, and the community is one of my things that I love talking about it. And a thing it would just be having that, and it does go into the Fight for Us series as a medical professional, being a medical professional in there too. So, Angie Wanderer 224 says, not even JC was able to please everyone, so who cares how others feel about you? I love you and your channel. So I appreciate that, Angie, and I appreciate you guys taking the time, and really bulk of the people that are in here are supporters. But I don't know, I guess I take it in stride with it, but I also, it kind of bothers you when some people don't like what you do. You want to feel supported and loved, but not everyone's going to do that, and online they don't have to. So I'm definitely much better with it. End of January was 5 years on YouTube, so Definitely a thing that Marie Antoinette says. PT stands for paid time to watch The Walking Dead. I wish that would be. I wish my profession was to just watch The Walking Dead and do that. But, we do more than that too. So, all right, guys. So, spoiler warning. Big spoiler warning. Season 10, episode 9 and beyond. I'm going to talk about some spoilers now. So, if you don't want the spoilers, please stop watching. Exit the chat. I appreciate you being here. Please hit that subscribe button if you are not a subscriber. I will have my review later today. I'll probably post it around, I don't know, the 10 o'clock mark or around there, because I like to share it. Because if people are watching it tonight, I like they would watch the episode and then watch the review after it there too. But we'll see. Just remember, it's Walking Dead, then Better Call Saul, and then Talking Dead tonight. So right here, we got, I don't know how to say this name because it's a triangle, N-U-N-T-O, I don't know. But did you enjoy episode 9? I enjoyed it. Was it the best episode? No. But season 10, episode 9 is titled Squeeze. And it's a tight squeeze and a tight fitting through the cave, the tunnels on there too. So the episode starts with our group in the cave where they left off in season 10, episode 8. They're looking around what to do. They have flashlights and lanterns, which they didn't have before. But I don't know where they got them and if they should have used them beforehand before going in a cave. Now, Carol is claustrophobic. That goes back to the CDC and being involved with that. We kind of knew she was claustrophobic. Daryl mentions it. There's some good dialogue with Carol and Daryl. And there's some good moments in the episode for sure. But either way, Carol is claustrophobic. Well, you shouldn't just have blindly ran into a cave then if you're claustrophobic. I would have ran in there a little bit because you could walk a little bit. We saw Daryl walk into the cave and go, and then either the ground crumbled or he slipped and fell, or what, from season 10, episode 8. But either way, season 10, episode 9 starts with our group in the cave. You only see the people in the cave, and then you see Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Negan, and the Whispers. That's it. No Hilltop, no Alexandria, no other group like that. Jerry says, hey guys, because he sees Alpha all the way at the top, and she's got her flaming torch, and it's pretty funny that she's looking down with the creepy thing, the photos, from the trailer. And Carol's looking at her and she's getting mad and frustrated and she's like, ah! And I know she's mad and she's upset and she's frustrated and she's freaking out and all these things, but it just seems funny. To me, it seems like Austin Powers. It seems just kind of cheesy. And I know she's freaking out, but I think they just could have done better. And either way, Alpha leaves, talks to her Whispers that are outside, talking about, she says, don't let him out. 4 or 5 Whispers run in. I think it's 5 Whispers run in the same opening that Alpha left. I guess it's a different opening than our group went in or something. It's just hard to tell because there's always Whispers going in the cave and then we see them at the end of it. And so there's different ways to get into the cave, right? So Daryl comes up with an idea to jump across these pillars like he's in a video game. And there's only so much room in this, and Jerry has a sword, and they have some weapons, and they have some things. But you can see Magna's mad at Carol. And we knew that from the trailer and the sneak peeks and stuff like that too. But initially I'm like, Magna, don't yell at Carol like that. You don't know her. You don't have anything, whatever. And then it's like, the Carol Magna situation really isn't that big a deal because Carol knows she messed up and she knows that she didn't want anything of this to happen. And she says it. She didn't want any of this to happen. And Daryl, being Daryl, that I know and I love and I'm being there too, he's like, we ain't got time for this. Come on. We got to figure out a way here. It doesn't matter, and that should be it. That should be the way it goes. It doesn't matter because they're stuck in the cave. And yes, they probably should have stayed in the cave, stayed outside the cave, turned on their lanterns and their flashlights and walked slowly and whatever. But either way, we're all in the cave, so we got to get past that. So they jump from one side to the next, and there's walkers, and they're killing a couple. More walkers are coming up on the thing. And it's like, okay, they're going at Aaron, and Aaron's killing them, and he's this. But why wouldn't they be on there already if they could just get up? They only got up because they saw our group. I don't know. But either way, Daryl runs across, gets stuck. He's there with all the walkers around him. He stabs a couple and then jumps across, and he makes it. And everybody makes it across. Even though Kelly, who has a bad ankle from her running in the woods, still she has a bad ankle, remember that she is jumping and she falls on their thing, and she's like, you see the part in the trailer, and then she's like punching them, and you're like, come on, you're not going to just punch them barehanded, because what if you like punch them and the walker bit you or scratched you or something on it? You just wouldn't do that. But either way, everybody gets across and everybody's safe, and it's kind of tough. And there is little moments where you're worried about everybody, but everybody survives. Everybody gets out of the cave except for Magna and Connie. They're trapped in the cave at the very end of the episode. It's basically how the episode ends. And the Carol is messed up because what happens is that they make it through all the cave. They make it through things. Whispers come in. Magna takes out a bunch of them. They defend themselves. And they finally get to a couple spots. And Jerry has some good moments where he's like, you saw where they went? He's like, no, but I know a road sign when I see it because there's an arrow sketched into the side of the rock. So they know kind of where the Whisperers would know where to go inside the cave for certain areas. So they finally get some spots, and it's a tight squeeze. And, it's definitely a thing where Carol's freaking out because she's claustrophobic, right? So Carol is freaking out, but Connie is there for her. It's a nice moment where she grabs her hand and spells out, "You are okay." And calms her down a little bit, calms her down, and it's a nice thing. And then while they're stuck in the cave, you have the Negan situation, because Alpha goes back to the Whisperer camp. That Negan is watching everything like a hawk. Alpha calls Gamma and Beta over to talk. And Alpha says that they were in the cave, or they were on our side of the border. They went to the spot where the herd was before, where Gamma told them to go. So Alpha knows that our group, Daryl's group, know that they knew where to go. And that kind of triggers things. That they have spies. Alpha doesn't know if they had spies coming in, what was going on here, and she doesn't suspect Gamma at all. Beta, they're like, what to do? Alpha is just talking with Gamma and Beta what to do. Negan, I guess, overhears it. He's sitting by the tree in the pictures that we shared, and they're talking, and I guess he heard the fact that what happened with them in the cave and stuff, and he knows that there's a spy and what's happening. But he put two and two together because it's Negan being Negan. It's a little far-fetched that Negan could figure it out that quickly, that Gamma's the spy. But he knows that Gamma or Beta have the in with Alpha, but he also knows that Gamma is on the border wall. So she has opportunity to talk with Aaron and the group, right? So you have the idea of it being Gamma is close to Alpha and Team Family, Aaron. So she has the possibility of doing that. So Negan put two and two together. So Negan goes and talks with Alpha, and Alpha is going to the bathroom away from the camp. And Negan has a funny line and says, "I don't mean to butt in, no pun intended. No pun intended, because Alpha's going to the bathroom." I don't know how she's wiping herself or whatever, and there's a pile of poop over there, and it's pretty funny what Negan's interactions are with Alpha, and it's funny. But Negan says, "I want to run something by you." Alpha doesn't kind of trust him, but they talk, and he says, "Look, I was where you were." It's from the clip that they were talking about. I had people and I did this, and I'm telling you because if you don't want to be where I am, listen to me. And he's kind of just trying to be a loyal person to Alpha. And Alpha is like, "What? I don't trust you." And then he says the whole thing that, I don't think it's, Beta, because he's a loyal person. He basically, he has some insults, but basically says that Beta wouldn't ever go against Alpha. It's the other one. So he knows that Gamma is the probable person that it would be. And Alpha puts her knife to Negan's groin and is like, don't say this to anyone and cause a panic. Because if you do, I'll take these. And I think she like cuts his pants or something and causes Negan to fall backwards. And he lands in the poop. And he's like, ugh, and you hear like the flies and stuff. And it's pretty funny. It's a funny moment. And then it goes back to the cave and it goes like that too. And then the cave, they're going through the tunnel to get to the one spot. And that's when you see Jerry get stuck in there. You know, you have, I think it's Daryl gets through first, then Magna, then Connie, or Kelly. She like falls. She's like, I'm okay. It's kind of funny. Kelly, Connie, or Connie's behind it, and then Magna goes, and then I think it's Carol, Connie, and then Jerry is last. And then you have Magna, and everybody is just waiting for it, and Daryl's trying to coach her through, and he's like, okay, you see my light? And Carol's freaking out because she's claustrophobic. A tunnel in a cave is not the right place for Carol to be, for sure, right? So Carol is in the cave, freaking out, and they talk her through it, and then she finally gets through there, and they pull her through, and then Connie comes out. And then Jerry's the last one to go, and he's going slow, and he has this funny line where he says, yeah, I'm a 6'2" guy who has a problem with airport bathrooms, or airplane bathrooms, because they're so small. So he's like, yeah, I'm doing it, and he's crawling, and then all of a sudden, there's walkers behind Jerry, and they're crawling towards him, and they're like, throw in some walkers, because you need some drama. It's already bad enough that Jerry can't fit, and Jerry's like, I'm stuck, I can't move because it's tight in there. The walkers are coming and they're doing this. And then Jerry, he's like, take your armor off. So he's like, takes it off so quick. He has enough room to like take his armor off. And then he goes and throws the thing in there too. And the walkers are getting close to him and they're biting and scratching at his boots. And so you're like, oh man. But then Jerry gets away and they pull him through. The walkers come through. Aaron kills one. Daryl kills one. And then they look at Jerry's shoe, and they didn't bite through the boot fully, even though they, bit through some of his boot. Bit through the boot. Sorry, I can't speak. Bit through the boot. And it didn't bite into his foot. So Jerry's okay. Everybody makes it there. Okay. They make it to the side there, and then they're like, what are they going to do? They didn't really get to an exit or an entrance. They didn't really find a way to get out. They just find like a thing where it's being held by wood, and maybe the Whisperers went in and closed it behind them just in case. But either way, Kelly finds some dynamite. And she's like, look what I found. And Jerry's like, whoa, that thing is sweatier than me. Please put it back slowly. Because it's probably unstable and it could blow up. Carol sees that there's dynamite. So she gets the idea that she's going to go take the dynamite and blow up some of the Walker horde, right? So our group is trying to find a way, and they're ripping wood down, and they're trying to find a way to get out, and they find a thing, and, I think it's kind of funny where, there's a hole, and Kelly sticks her head out, and she's like, yep, a little bit more, and she puts it back in. You're like, it looks like a gopher, like, boop, it pops out perfectly, and it's kind of funny. So, like, two things that probably weren't supposed to be funny, I thought it was funny, right? Kelly sticking her head through the hole, and then Carol like, like you're like, what? Like, and they're not supposed to be funny, but it was just kind of funny. And so then they're trying to get through it. And then I think it cuts back to around there too. And then it goes back to Negan. Negan is like sawing part of a branch of wood, or he's cleaning it off. He's shaving off the bark of a piece of wood on the trunk. And so he's sitting with another Whisper, and then Alpha walks over and said, you with me. And then she's speaking to Negan, and Negan says, oh, I guess Mom's mad at me. And the Whisper's like, it's pretty funny. And so he walks with Alpha. He's like, keep walking. Alpha's behind Negan, and you see they're getting away from camp, farther and farther away from camp. So Alpha says, keep your eyes forward, keep walking. So Negan starts to think that he's going to get killed by Alpha. And so he stands there and looks back, and Alpha's like, what'd I say? Eyes forward. And so Negan is worried, and they stop, and Alpha says, take off your clothes. So then Negan's like, well, I'm sorry. And he's like starting to beg for his life. He thinks that Alpha's going to kill him. He still does it, takes off his clothes, and that's the worried face he has when he has no shirt on. And then he turns around. Sorry, Sabitha. Sorry. Sabitha writes, Brian, stop screaming, dude. I'm listening with headphones. Sorry. But I didn't realize it was being that loud. But that Negan turns around, and Alpha is naked. And Negan is naked. Well, Alpha has her mask on and socks, and Negan just has socks on. And Alpha walks closer to him and says, you're a crass man, so I think you deserve the crass reward. And so Negan was like not sure what was going on. He thought he was going to get killed by Alpha, and now Alpha wants to, be with him basically. And so Negan's like talking, and then Alpha's like, I think she says stop talk. But I think she says stop talking. She says stop talk for sure, but I don't know if she like kind of went stop talking. And then she comes closer to him and kisses him with the Whisperer mask on. And then it pans out and they're both naked and they're hugging, but they both have socks on. And then I guess that's it. I guess there's alone time, adult time they have, right? So they do their own thing. And then we go back to the cave. And then we have the whole thing with, before that, the way that Alpha knows that Negan was right is that Beta comes and talks to Alpha and says, Gamma never made it to the patrol people because she was supposed to go find the patrol to look for spies. Beta says that Gamma never went there. Alpha puts 2 and 2 together, knows that Gamma didn't go there. We'll probably find out in season 10, episode 10, that Gamma went to Alexandria to seek refuge, to tell our group that they're trapped in the cave that we see in the trailer. So that was one of those things where that's how Alpha knows that Negan was telling or was right. So then that's when they have their alone time. We go back to the cave. They're working on how to get out. They're digging this. Daryl looks around and is like, where's Carol? And then he looks down and sees the box of dynamite is open, right? So it was a thing where Daryl goes and looks for Carol, and Carol's climbing on rocks and doing this, and she's going to light the stick of dynamite on fire and drop it down into this big cavern thing where all these walkers are. And then Carol slips, drops the dynamite on a ledge. Daryl finds her and pulls her up and says, what are you doing? And she says, we have a chance to blow up the Walker Horde or a piece of it or something. Which is like, I could see why she wants to do that, but just get out of the cave and come back. You know where the Walker Horde is. You can come back and do it right. But either way, she's like reaching for the dynamite to pull it back. It falls, drops down into the huge cavern and cave, and then explodes. Causes things to fall out. And before that, I think Kelly gets out first of the cave, and then Aaron. And when Kelly's out there, whispers are coming. She slips down and then hits him with the pickaxe or something and takes him out and is fighting them. And then Aaron takes out a walker, and it's pretty awesome with his ball hand thing, a spiky ball hand, which is pretty cool. And then they fight a little bit. And then Connie and Jerry is holding up a big piece of wood, like a support beam to hold it open. And he's holding it up. And Connie and Magna go back and look for Daryl and Carol to help them. They could have left and went out of the cave, but they went back for Daryl and Carol. And so a lot of the episode, I feel like Magna was just mad at Carol because why wouldn't you be disappointed? But she was kind of yelling at her. But I kind of do feel like Magna was in the right place of trying to work, and she's working hard trying to get out and trying to get these things. And Aaron even says to Magna, like, look, slow down. You haven't eaten anything on there. And Magna says to Aaron when they're trying to get out of the cave, look, I didn't leave things good with Yumiko, so she's trying to get out there. And so, when Connie and Magna get stuck in the cave, that's kind of a big thing because I'm sure Yumiko is going to be upset, and really everybody in Magna's group is going to be upset, especially Kelly, because potentially Connie and Magna are dead in the cave. I highly doubt they are because the way they left it, you'll see in the episode, you clearly see them and you see dirt and stuff fall in front of them. So it could have just fell in front of them and they're trapped where they are, so they could still be alive, and I think they will be. But before they get out of the cave and all that stuff happens, Connie and Magna go back to find Daryl and Carol. Then the dynamite falls. But the Whispers come in again, another group of Whispers, where Connie and Magna take them down and do all that. Daryl and Carol meet up with Magna and Connie. Daryl and Carol run out of the cave. They get out of the cave, but then Magna and Connie are still fighting Whispers, and they're trying to get back to it, but they can't. Jerry is holding up the thing, so it's Jerry, Magna, and Connie stuck in the cave still. Everybody else is out. Aaron yells to Jerry, come on, Jerry, come on, we got to go. It's starting to crumble because the dynamite that blew up caused the cave to crumble. So again, I don't know if it's far-fetched or what it is because I don't know how far away it is. But either way, there's an explosion. The cave is unstable. It's falling down. Connie and Magna are killed the Whispers. They're coming back. Jerry has to let go of the wood. I don't really know if he needed to, but they make it like it is. He jumps underneath and jumps out of the cave. Aaron and Jerry, walk away from the cave exit that they made. Boom! There's a big explosion that happens, and I'm like, well, how did that happen? Maybe the other dynamite that was left in the box, because there's a big box of it, there's probably 6 or 7 sticks of dynamite, and Carol only took 1. So the explosion happened in another part of the cave. That happened, so I guess that box of dynamite blew up. You see Magna and Connie clear as day with their lanterns and flashlight, and then dirt falls in front of them. And debris from the ceiling and rocks and stuff fall from, or the roof, I guess, of the cave, fall down. And then there's a whole thing where the exit that they made is all rocked, and then it's all closed, and there, and Jerry and everybody look. Daryl goes up and is trying to get the rocks up to clear them out, and Aaron's like, it would take forever. It would take weeks to do that. Carol's upset. Then Daryl says, then help me. Help me, guys. Kelly says, look, we can't help them. This explosion's going to draw Whispers and Walkers from miles away to come back towards them. We can't help them if we're dead. So they have to go and run away. So Carol's upset, and Carol says to Daryl, look, you cared about her, and now she's gone. I need to hear it from you. I need to hear that you're mad or you're this. And Daryl just looks at her upset, but doesn't say anything. Carol's freaking out. And some of the nice, I guess not nice, but emotional moments of it are with Daryl and Carol. When they're in the cave previously, Daryl has a nice moment with Carol and says, look, I understand what you're going through. I'd be the same way. And I'd want to kill her too and do whatever and take her down too. But I'd stop if you told me to. And Daryl's like, look, I'm trying to help you, but your decisions and what you're doing are not the best. And that's before she gets the dynamite and does that. So you're not doing anything to help your cause, Carol. You're not doing stuff to help out with people liking you. And I love Carol. I love Melissa McBride. And I'm one of those characters that are one of those people that love the character for it. But she's just not making good decisions. And it's one of those things where you're not really doing stuff that's going to make people, see your side. You didn't have to take the dynamite. That was just a bad call. You really should not have been, doing that, especially after the fact when you were going to get out of the cave. You were all right there. You're ready to get out. And now potentially you killed Connie and Magna because of something you could have done. Why wouldn't you just wait till everybody's out or done something? But I guess Daryl would have stopped her and stuff, so she had to sneak around and do it, whatever. So Daryl says that he's going to go look for a way into the cave still because he still cares about Connie and Magna and wants to go help them. So he goes one way, he goes left, I guess down a little path, and then Aaron, Jerry, and Kelly go right down another path, and they're going back to either Hilltop or Alexandria, one of the communities, whatever they reach first. And Carol's just standing there, upset, crying, and that's the way the episode ends. So we'll have to see what happens with Connie and Magna. I don't know the Walking Dead episodes. Will Magna die? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think either of these characters will die like that. I don't know when we're going to see them again. I'm going to talk about in a future video that I was thinking about it, that I think Magna and Connie are going to survive, but I'm going to talk about that in another video. But, my thought process is that I think Connie had to be, out of a lot of episodes because that actress, Laura Ridloff, was filming Eternals, the movie Eternals, for, a lot of the time. So she could have been out for several weeks, if not, if we don't see her again to the end of the season or towards the end of the season, she could have been out, several weeks, 6, 7, 8 weeks to film a movie. That's 2 months to film a movie, a lot of her parts. So she could have filmed that and still been alive on the show, or maybe she actually is killed off, but I don't know what they're going to do. Maybe they get trapped in the cave. We see them for a little bit, and then maybe somebody rescues them, if it's Father Gabriel's group or Maggie or somebody else. But I'm excited to find out what's going to happen. But it's a nice setup episode. It's a nice bridge gap between 10-8 and 10-10, and the first half of season 10 and the back half of season 10. So season 10, episode 8 kind of ended the first half of the season with the cave, and now it picks up with the cave, and then it's kind of like the cave situation is addressed and settled, but it's not, because Connie and Magna are still in it, and what's going to happen going forward. I don't think we see them in either of them in season 10, episode 10. Beta is told by Alpha to go after Gamma. So I would assume that Beta goes into Alexandria. He goes into his tunnel system, more tunnels, that they go into there and goes into Alexandria. If he goes through the tunnel that Dante made, if he was actually able to go through the same grave, or he goes through the sewer system and then part of the grave with Cheryl's grave. So I don't know what's going to be happening, but I know the reviewers of, if it was Forbes or some, I don't know what the review actually was, but people really like season 10 episode 9 and season 10 episode 10, but they thought season 10 episode 10 was better between the two episodes, and I agree so far. I mean, season 10, episode 9 was not bad at all. I enjoyed it, and I thought it was a good episode, but from what I'm seeing and potentially hearing and putting 2 and 2 together with the trailers and stuff, season 10, episode 10 looks like more action, more stuff, way to continue the story. And if it's true about Beta inside Alexandria, if he fights Rosita, the whole Gamma situation, the stuff with what's her name, Judith, if the situation is true with Alpha and Daryl fighting, man, it should be a great episode. And I'm super excited for, to see it. And that's next week's episode, season 10, episode 10, potentially. I'm super excited to share with you guys a bunch of different videos that we made. I have 2 videos about, I have one about Michonne and another one about the finale. I have my review that I'm going to share tonight. I have other videos that I'm going to be making, but today is a good day. The Walking Dead is back tonight, February 23rd. It's back, finally, right? So season 10, episode 9, and then 10-10, and then 10-11, 12, 13, 14. When's Michonne leaving? How does she leave? How does it set up? It's definitely a thing that I'm excited to talk about, because The Walking Dead is back, and when The Walking Dead is back, we should have a lot more content and a lot more videos and a lot more theories and discussion and stuff on there too. It is the series of speculation. There's a lot of people talking about potential spoilers, unconfirmed spoilers, or theories, or whatever they want to say. Maybe it's true, maybe it doesn't, but I'm super excited to see just how it's going to be going on, because there's a lot of big things. The Whisper of War, Beta and, everybody, Alpha and Negan, Gamma, Maggie's return, Michonne's exit, the war, the battle, who's going to survive, who's going to live, Carol, how's she going to be? Is she going to make some better decisions? Commonwealth, potentially, Princess, where are Yumiko, Eugene, and Ezekiel going? I have stuff coming up in videos that you'll definitely want to check out for sure. Spoiler warning for all that stuff, comic related, all that as well. But I'm super excited, guys. The Walking Dead is back Fight for Us series is going strong. Access is book 11. Definitely check it out. If you want to check it out, go to our Amazon storefront if you can. If it has the link in the description, I have it right here. It says Fight for Us books on our Amazon storefront paid link, amazon.com/the PT channel. That takes us to our Amazon storefront, and they're all right there. All 11 books of Fight for Us, and then the one book of In 100 Days is all right there. If you do like the book series, guys, like M King and a bunch of other people that like the book series, if you can join or subscribe to our Fight for Us channel. I have a video there talking about the book, a little bit of access and stuff, what's going to be coming there. I definitely want to make future videos. It's just tough to do PT channel stuff, Fight for Us stuff, channel stuff, book series stuff, work stuff. It's just tough to do all of it all together because I want to have it just done right. That's for sure. So I'm excited to talk about a bunch of different things coming up. And definitely it's going to be a good season of the back half of season 10 of Walking Dead. And then hopefully season 11 is great too. They're going to start filming probably end of April, early May. I know it was potentially around May 4th is what they were saying. So they'll be coming back around at the end of April, early May, back to Georgia and around Sonoy and Atlanta too. So I'm excited to see what the future holds. I can't wait to talk about the cliffhanger stuff and videos coming up. Thank you guys for taking the time. I like doing a half hour of 20 to 30 minutes of non-spoiler stuff, general conversation, Q&A, and then the last half hour to talk about spoilers. I think that's a good mix of spoiler, non-spoiler stuff. So thank you guys for taking the time to be a part of the chat, of the channel, of everything too. We always thank you for participating. Hopefully the Q&A is good. Hopefully I answered all your questions. And then, always welcome for Super Chat, Top Chat, Patreon donations, becoming a member. I actually have my member quiz going on right now. So hopefully you saw that. Check out the community tab for the members. There's 3 questions there too, and definitely answer them if there's nothing for that. But ultimately, if you answer them and you get them right and you're the winner, I have an Amazon code that I want to share to you. So it has to be in a private message on Instagram or Facebook because I have to give a digital code, and I can't just give you the digital code like over that. So definitely want to share that with you guys. And we'll be doing more and more of those. We have 88,807 subscribers right now. We're getting closer and closer for 100,000 subscribers. We truly appreciate it, guys. So hopefully you'll join the episode tonight. I did. I thought it was good. Now, is it the best? No, but I was entertained, and it was definitely a good episode for the back half of season 10 to, connect the dots for it. So thank you guys for taking the time. Everybody, my moderators, truly appreciate it. Blocking out the people on there too. So, yeah, so I didn't think it was, I think they did pretty well with the episode with Negan and Alpha on there too, even though it's just gross with the stuff that I just think Beta, Alpha, and the Whispers would just have the poorest hygiene. And I just think Alpha would smell terribly and not really take care of herself. And like I said, she goes to the bathroom on there too. I don't see toilet paper or something to wipe there too. So I don't know, right? So thank you guys for taking the time. I truly appreciate it. And remember, guys, with hard work, dedication, belief, and sacrifice, you can truly achieve your goals. Believe in yourself. You can do it. It's about love, support, staying positive, making memories, staying true to yourself, blocking out the haters. Enjoy tonight's episode. If you can, guys, join the fight and pick up your copy of the right here. Access. Thanks, guys.